welcome into BoardCheck this week. I am Jeremy the Impact York. Not just this week, I'm that pretty much all year round. But obviously, lots to talk about. We're going to talk about the big trade that just came down just yesterday for the Gladiators here in a minute. But first, I'm going to start off this week. We're going to talk some NHL, and there's a couple kind of goofy things going on in the NHL, a couple new rule things they're thinking about. And by them, I believe it's the general managers who are down in Florida trying to figure this all out. But let's start there. In the NFL, you have owner meetings where all the owners get together and figure out rule changes and different things they want to do, and they propose it, and everybody eventually agrees, and you move on about it. Well, in hockey, you do the general managers. All the general managers have gotten together, including the Las Vegas Golden Knights GM as well, Mr. McPhee, and basically here are some of the proposed rule changes that they're going to get to. I'm going to go one by one. There are three main ones that they have talked about, and obviously I'm going to have a take on all three of them. So just get the popcorn ready. It's going to be good. First of all, it is going to be, or this is not going to be, this is something they're thinking about, because it will give an extra incentive to try to win the game in regulation as opposed to going overtime and just picking up the point. If you win in regulation, you will get 3 points. I'm going to keep these up. You're going to see why in a minute. If you win in overtime, you get 2 points. Trust me, this could be a bad incident here in a minute, but I'm going to do my best to pull the right finger in a minute. If you lose in overtime, you get 1 point. And if you lose in regulation, you get a big fat 0. Now, this will make it to where if you win a regulation, you're rewarded a lot more. People will go for it a lot more instead of playing for overtime. Honestly, this is the one of the three that I actually like. The other two, boy, it's going south after this. Trust me, it is definitely going south. I don't have much of a problem with this. It's the incentive to finish the game and not have these games drag out like baseball does and other sports. And I mean, hockey doesn't drag out anyway. It's a standard 3 hours. We're in, we're out. You know, it is what it is there. Number two, the second one here, that would be no more shot blocking. Can't block a shot anymore. Yeah, I'm going to let that one sit for a minute. I'm going to let that one start. It's like putting a fresh piece of bologna on a frying pan, a busting hot frying pan. I think you guys know what I'm talking about here. Okay, and now you burnt the bologna. This is so stupid. There are so many people in the league that are known for shot blocking and that in general. This is like telling, a defensive specialist in basketball, hey, we know you score 2 points a game, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists, which is not all that much as far as the stat sheet, but you're the best defender in the league. Hey, well, you know what? It's like the NBA coming up and saying, we're not playing defense anymore, which if you watch the All-Star game, they really didn't anyway. But you can't tell players they can't block shots. What are they supposed to do? Somebody winds up for a shot? Hey, clear out. Sidney Crosby's shooting, guys. We don't need anybody in the way here. You can't block the shot. Don't want you trying to fall on this one. No, don't. And it's not just Sid the Kid. It could be anybody. David Backus be going for a shot. Pasternak could be going for a shot. Well, clear out. Pasternak's shooting here. As a Bruins fan, that's not a bad thing. But, I mean, seriously, no shot blocking? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. This game does not need more scoring. It needs to protect the players and leave it about how it is. I don't hear many fans complaining as they pack arenas all across the nation, all across the world. Last time I checked, the second or third tier Russian league was still selling out buildings. The AHL, the ECHL, the Canadian leagues, the Swedish leagues, they all are stacking in people in the building. So why are we trying to fix it? That makes no sense to me. No shot blocking. Seriously? How stupid is this? This is just absurd. Just absolutely absurd. What can you do instead of that? The healthy alternative, block it at your own risk, just like it is now. A lot of players get hurt by blocking pucks. Some accidentally block pucks. So at what point you got to find a threshold to say if he had intent to block that, or if he didn't want to block that. I mean, this is just, it's absurd. That's what it is. That's the word I'm going to use. It's absurd. It's absolutely ridiculously absurd. That's exactly what it is. And I'm not going to calm down much more because the third one is about as goofy. Here's the third one. What they want to do is, right there around the goalie on this side and on this side, they have those blue face-off circles. Well, they won't be there anymore if they try to pass this crap. They want to get rid of those face-off circles to the right and left of the goalie, and they want to put one out in front of him. Yeah, put that one on for size. Let's eliminate two face-off circles who have been there. Those playoff circles, I keep calling them playoff circles. Those face-off circles, rather, have been there for a long time and been a part of this game. It ups the ante. When you get I don't understand how getting rid of both of those and putting one out front is going to increase scoring chances. It seems to me that those angle shots is where you get the set plays that actually work off of face-offs. You want to ice the puck? That's fine. We're going to put it to the right of your goalie on his short side and pretty much put you behind the 8 ball. Getting rid of face-off circles. I mean, if you're going to do that, why not get rid of all of them? Let's get rid of both sets at the either end of the rink. Let's get rid of the one in the middle. Let's just let's make it like foosball. Let's just drop a bunch of pucks in the middle of the ice and just say, hey, go at it. I mean, that's pretty much what we're trying to do here. Create an arcade game. It's not an arcade game. This one is worse than absurd. I have to find a word for it even. It's just ridiculous. This unreal that general managers think that this would be the solution. There's no way this is the solution. The solution is stay out of it. We're doing fine. Some of these games are, 4-3, 7-5, 7-2 at some point. We're going to talk about one of those in a minute. There's other ways to fix the NHL if you're wanting to fix gameplay and such like that. I think the overtime 3-on-3 is a great idea. That one seems to be working. It's a lot of fun. It makes a lot of strategy. Do you go 2 defensemen and 1 forward? Do you go 2 forwards and 1 defenseman? Do you go 3 forwards? Do you go 3 defensemen? It just depends on the matchups a lot of times, and it creates so much more action as far as that overtime period. If you partner that with the regulation points being a little higher, just like I said earlier, maybe that's one way we can do it, but no more shot blocking and moving the face-off circles. It's absurd. That's absurd. But I'm going to move on for a minute because I want to calm down a little bit. Calm down in a different direction. There'll be more excitement when we get to the Gladiators and Bruins coming up here shortly. Let's see. There was another mumps outbreak. We had one a couple years ago that got about 12 or 15 players, including Sidney Crosby at the time. And this time around, it only got Zach Parise, Jason Pominville from both us from Minnesota. It got 4 Vancouver Canucks and a trainer. And 3 of those 4 Canucks are back on the ice. The others will be there shortly. I believe the trainer's back with the team, and Parise and Pominville actually were back on the ice just a couple nights ago. So I want to find this. I know you guys know the video, but I want to make sure I get this guy's. Nope, not that. I want to get this exactly right for you guys because this might be one of the most fantastic things. Let's see. It's the Lightning, and there shouldn't be a big pause like that. My apologies, but the Lightning had that guy who went against the Buffalo Sabres goalie, and in the shootout, he did a video game-like move. He went to deke, and he went ahead and just tapped the puck, and then did a fake deke and let it just roll right past the goaltender who bid on the secondary move. Just go watch it. It's up on I believe it's on our Twitter. It's on my Facebook. But just look up the recent Lightning goal in a shootout. Just wow, just beyond video game. Shout out to that guy for no one had to get it done. And then that's actually going to do it for us for the NHL portion in period number 1. When we come back in period number 2, we're going to talk Boston Bruins because I want to finish up with the Gladiators for a very special reason. But I'm Jeremy the Impact York. We'll see you on the other side of the break. We're back for period number 2 here on BoardCheck. Jeremy the Impact York, your host for the evening and pretty much every evening. Glad to have you back. Now, of course, in the first period, we flipped the script a little bit and talked some NHL issues, talked about the new GM ideas for fixing the game, 2 of which are garbage. The other one, okay. Talked about the mumps outbreak, rather. And we also talked about the ridiculous shot on the shootout by the Lightning score on Buffalo. It was fantastic. Look at that video. But it's time to talk Boston Bruins. Now, the Bruins were off to a hot start ever since replacing their coach with Bruce Cassidy. I thought it was a pretty good move. Even though we all like Claude Julien, he's a good guy. I felt he had taken the team as far as he could. This was a different kind of team. They responded to Cassidy and his taking over the leadership role there as coach. And, actually won 7 of 8 at one point. And actually in the last 3 games, though, they are 1-2 as they lost to the Rangers 2-1 with Marchand having the lone goal there. Tuukka had 19 saves. They beat the New Jersey Devils 3-2 where Carlo Krug and Spooner all had goals in that one, with Khudobin, of all people, having 15 saves for the victory. And then they lost in Ottawa 4-2, where Bergeron and Marchand were the lone goal scorers there. Rask had 25 saves. That's almost 45 saves. That's 34 saves in 2 losing efforts. Because I think it's not that Rask isn't any good anymore. He's tired. So we need Khudobin to step up like he's been doing and do some other things as well. But also an update on Ryan Spooner is he is in the concussion protocol. Don Sweeney said that they're following everything that the league, that protocol states, and when they know more, they will let the rest of us know. So get better soon, Mr. Spooner. But that's the most important thing, is that you get the concussion cleared up and then you come back in, because we're going to need you for this playoff run. So need you 100%. They also recalled Austin Czarnik to the main roster. He's gonna add maybe a little bit of burst right here for the next 6 weeks. And of course, that's something I was going to bring up. Can they sustain this momentum for the next 6 weeks or so? Because that will pretty much take you almost to the end of the season. I think they can. This team is in a lot better place than a lot of the teams even above them. Depends on the way the playoffs shake out. I think they can get past week 1 of the playoffs in the first round there, depending on who we get. But more than likely, if we get the Canadians or somebody like that, I think we can beat them in a series. And depending on the matchup in the second and the momentum we have, we might could win that one as well. I think we'd top out in the East Side playoffs. It's nothing personal. This team is if you want to compare them across the board, it's like the Cowboys this year in football. They could have gotten to a Super Bowl with a little bit of luck and a little bit of other things, but they're really built for the next couple years. And I really think this Boston team, they're building another dynasty-like team. They're going to be there in the next few months. The next few years. They're going to constantly be that presence that they were in previous years. So, hopefully they sustain this momentum and really make a good dent. But, I think they're going to get past the first round easy, and then after that, all bets are off. We just hope everything works out right. I mentioned that Tuukka Rask is still great, but he's tiring. You can really tell he's getting a little tired out there. It's not his fault. He's played like 155 billion games this year already. That's maybe 155 billion and one. It's because the backup goalie at all points has not been able to keep the stable presence to win games, so they're having to play him a lot more. Well, if Khudobin steps up, if some of these other guys step up, I mention all the time, these guys over here have got a couple goalies, including Matt Ginn and Dan Vladar, that if I would be very sad for them to leave Atlanta, but at the same time, they would do a lot of really good things on the NHL level, especially for the Boston Bruins. But get Spooner healthy, get a couple other people that are nicked up here and there, and keep the momentum going. I think this team can absolutely go into the playoffs and start surprising people. And then, of course, the last thing I do want to talk about is, as far as returning people, how about Adam McQuaid returning after catching the skate from David Backes the other day in the neck? He has got a pretty good little scar that goes right along through here. Actually, if you're watching the video, it'll actually be on that side. But 25 stitches in the neck, and I'm glad they were able to get to him fast enough. He didn't really notice how bad it was cut till he got to the bench, and fellow Bruin teammate of his looked and said, I think I would get that checked out, bud. And he did, ended up getting the 25 stitches, and he's back, and hadn't took it for granted. So glad to have McQuaid back in. It's not like Backes did it on purpose. We know that. It's good to have McQuaid back. Spooner will be back soon enough. And your upcoming schedule for the Bruins, of course, they will play tonight versus Detroit. That is at the TD Garden in Boston. You guys know where that is. That's an 8 p.m. start. On Saturday, they will be at home still in the TD Garden against the Philadelphia Flyers. That is a 1 p.m. start. And then next Monday, they will be in Vancouver as a 10 p.m. start to take on the Canucks. Of those three there, I would say we can win at least 2, if not 3 of those, and that would be a fantastic stretch. So I'm thinking at least 4 points out of this. Let's take 6, guys, right? Let's take that 6. Show everybody what Boston Strong really is. And that's going to do it for period number 2. On the other side of the break, on period number 3, we are definitely going to talk about the Atlanta Gladiators. And like I said, there is a reason I left them for the end today. So on the other side of the break, there's the horn. So on the other side of the break, we will be talking Atlanta Gladiators. And see you on the other side of the break. We're back for period number 3. Jeremy the Impact York. Welcome back to BoardCheck, where now we're going to talk about those guys, the Atlanta Gladiators. That's a killer jersey. I may actually wear that here coming up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Of course, they are still trying to hang in there, just a handful of points back of maybe trying to get in the playoffs. We're standing behind them. They're playing strong. We're gonna talk about a key move they made here just a few minutes. I want to make sure I get the names correct on that. There we go. I want to make sure we have that right. The Atlanta Gladiators have traded Justin Buzzio. This just came down yesterday. It was kind of came out of nowhere to me, at least. Yeah, I think it did to a lot of you guys, because I've talked to a lot of you guys since, including some other people here at the studio that were a little surprised. But it is what it is. But he's been traded to Orlando Solar Bears for forward Alex Gasick and a future consideration. And also they have sent defenseman Nick Trecapelli to the Rapid City Rush as the back end of a trade they had February 4th that got us Akeem Alio. But Gasick is 23, and he split seasons between South Carolina and Orlando this year. In a combined 45 games, he scored 22 goals, which ranks third among rookies in the ECHL. He's a little guy. He's 5'8", about 180, but he registered 29 points in 26 games for the Solar Bears just prior to today's deal. So we're getting a little younger, and in the process trying to help Orlando maybe with their playoff push a little bit later on. But, you know, we're going to miss Buzzio. We're going to miss you, Buzzy. But that's hockey, and good luck to you in your future endeavors, and good luck to you in Orlando. I believe we still play Orlando a couple times this year, so look forward to seeing you, Buzzy. But moving on, I want to tell you that they have played a couple games in the last week, and they didn't really go our way. But, you know, that happens. Of course, they played the Florida Everblades on Friday, and the Everblades were able to pick up the victory there 7-2. It was a very close contest. And Captain, my captain, Derek Nesbitt, and Marovich had the lone goals in the loss. And then on Saturday, the Everblades again were able to get the victory. This time 4-0, a little bit closer game than the one before it. But shout out to the guys for digging, playing hard. Sometimes you hit those series, you run into the buzzsaw that was the Everblades. So, you know, congratulations to the Everblades for a couple games well played. Now, the upcoming schedule this Saturday and Sunday. We're going to start with Saturday. They're going to be at home against the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, the second best uniforms and logos in the ECHL, behind the Gladiators, of course. It's a 7 p.m. start. If you go, you will see this face, and you will see Jake also from Impact Media, as we will be at that game. And also on Sunday they will play Greenville again as a 2 p.m. start, puck drop, and there's a good chance you'll see this face, and you might see Jake as well. But come find us. We do have a little bit of swag, a little bit of BoardCheck stuff, maybe some Impact Media stuff. I'll ask you a trivia question for the first few of you that come up to us. We do take pictures and sign things if you'd like. But we just love meeting you guys and talking to you guys. A lot of you guys have won stuff from us before, but we will have some swag. We'll ask you a trivia question based off the show. Maybe it's something I just said even. And, of course, if you get it right, we will give you the swag, because we appreciate you guys. We couldn't do it without you guys. But, like I said, Saturday, that is the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, 7 p.m., 2 p.m. Same Swamp Rabbits will be there for Sunday. And then next Tuesday, maybe you see this face at that one. Never say never. But on Tuesday, the Florida Everblades will be back in town as a 7 p.m. puck drop, and we got to pay them back for the 7-2 and 4-0 games. We definitely got to do that. But that's going to do it for me this week. Shout out to all the Gladiator fans, all the Boston Bruins fans. You guys are fantastic. Love interacting with you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We always enjoy doing it for you guys. And if you're in the Infinite Energy Center this weekend, remember, this face will be there. You need to find me. Love to meet you guys. I'm Jeremy the Impact York. Thanks for joining us for BoardCheck. We will see you guys next week. Go Gladiators. Go Bruins. Go watch hockey.